Jesus gave only 2 commandments in the New Testament when the Pharisees tried to test him and failed. In this video, you are going to find out exactly what they're and how you can live by them in the 21st century. Welcome! Hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't already. Teacher, which is the greatest commandment in the law? Matthew 22, verse 34 to 38. But when the Pharisees heard that Jesus had silenced the Sadducees, they gathered together. And one of them, a lawyer, asked him a question, testing him. Teacher, which is the great commandment in the law? And he said to him, You shall love the Lord your God with all your heart, and with all your soul, and with all your mind. This is the great and foremost commandment. This cannot just be a story or a way to relieve his disciples from the commandments in the Old Testament. This is not an answer that just comes to one on the spot. It is everything we need in one command. The sheer brilliance of the response he gives the Pharisees can only come from God. How does one take hundreds of commandments of the Old Testament and put them into one so that nothing is left out? He did this as the religious leaders tried their best to show that his teachings were false. Jesus Christ described our duty to God as the first and greatest commandment in a way that has never been done before. You shall love the Lord your God with all your heart, and with all your soul, and with all your mind. Mark's account adds the phrase, and with all your strength, Mark 12 verse 30, and you shall love the Lord your God with all your heart, and with all your soul, and with all your mind, and with all your strength. This means that the first thing a person has to do is love God with everything that they are, with your heart, your soul, your mind, and all your strength. This is the great and foremost commandment. What does this mean? Loving God is not simply an emotional or abstract feeling. You need to give your entire self to show this love. This means in everything you feel, think, say, and do. You must put God first. If you love God, you will prioritize Him above all else. Nothing of this world would come close to where you place God in your life. He should be more important to you than anyone or anything else. You'll always honor and praise His name, and you'll do what He tells us to do in the Bible. The next question we need to answer is, how exactly can we show that we love God? In John 14 verse 15, if you love me, you will keep my commandments, which means that our obedience to God shows how much we love Him. If we don't obey Him, how then can we say we love Him? And we have no doubt of God's love for us as well. In one of the most famous verses of the Gospel, John 3 verse 16, it says, For God so loved the world that He gave His only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in Him should not perish, but have everlasting life. He loved us so much that He sent His only Son to suffer and died to redeem us from sin which we were deceived into. What is greater than this love? And now He asks us to show Him that love in return. What could possibly follow such a complete command? In Matthew 22 verse 39, which is the second part of the response Jesus gave to the Pharisees, it says, The second is like it. You shall love your neighbor as yourself, that is, unselfishly seek the best or higher good for others. In Romans 13 verse 10, love does no wrong to a neighbor, it never hurts anyone. Therefore, unselfish love is the fulfillment of the law. This completes it. Dream of a world where we all had a responsibility to treat each other's well, just as we treated ourselves. Dream of what it would feel like to not have to worry about the betrayal or wickedness of your neighbor. Of a world where your neighbor puts you first, and you did so in return. There would be no hating, no stealing, no bullying, no lying, and we would be motivated to do things for each other's benefit. This is the second and final commandment Jesus gave us. When Jesus was talking to His disciples in John 13 verse 34 to 35, He said, I am giving you a new commandment, that you love one another. Just as I have loved you, so you too are to love one another. By this everyone will know that you are my disciples, if you have love and unselfish concern for one another. We should love each other as Jesus did. If we love each other as Christ loves us, we'll serve others, and we'll put their needs before our own. By doing these things, everyone will know that we are His disciples. This love is an evangelistic love that brings men, women, and children to Christ because they think, "Look at how they love each other so selflessly." Really, that's love that only Jesus can bring you. Those who do not believe will know that you are a follower of Jesus Christ because of this love. God loves everyone, and everyone is made in His image and likeness. We can't fully keep the first commandment if we don't keep the second one. We can't say we love God if we don't love our neighbors. The Old Testament has more than 600 commandments, while the New Testament has over 800 commandments, making a total of over 1,000 commandments to keep in mind. Jesus came in the New Testament and gave just 2 new commandments that sum up all the others. He did not give these commandments to love God and our neighbors to replace the other commandments. Instead, they were given to put us on a path to living the life God intended for us. If we obey these 2 commandments, we will, as a result, uphold all the commandments of the Old Testament, and our lives will be as God intended. In Matthew 22 verse 40, Jesus said, "The whole law and the writings of the prophets depend on these 2 commandments." In Romans 13 verse 10, "Love does no wrong to a neighbor, it never hurts anyone." Therefore, unselfish love is the fulfillment of the law. As the perfect example of love, Jesus Christ was the best person to give the 2 great commandments. He did this while also living up to both of them perfectly in His obedience to God, His life, and His death for us. We must follow in His steps to show our love for God. You can't please God if you don't do these things. You shall love the Lord your God with all your heart, and you shall love your neighbor as yourself. These are the only 2 commandments given by Jesus. Follow them for the rest of your days and discover the way God intended for you to live. Please remember to hit the like button and subscribe if you enjoyed the video so YouTube can put this message in front of more people. Also, check out more videos on our channel 21st Century Believer.